A show about nothing. Two morons are talking. They both are really funny.
Good idea.
They just go with the flow. It's the Hershey and Keegs Show.
Welcome to Hershey and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
You're on, Mikey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night, 9 p.m. We are here. It's the Hershey and the Keegs Show. We're happy to be here. Grab a seat. We're bringing the heat.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
You really were prepared today. For people who are regular watchers of this show and know my personality, they know that Mike being here any later than 8:45 makes me want to find him and wring his fucking neck. So you guys should know that the show started at 9:01 p.m. and Mike walked in, hey guys, at fucking 9 o'clock and 10 seconds, talking about he went to some hot pot for dinner. What is it?
Hot pot, Korean hot pot.
He went to. Well, let me tell you, he smells like a Korean hot pot right now. He smells like he was a fucking sous chef all night. So whatever you were eating, so go ahead, Mr. fucking unprepared. Tell us about your fucking hot pot sous chef night that you just had. Okay?
I don't really feel like talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna talk about it. All right. You're gonna talk about it.
So, get out of work today. Day job. We have day jobs.
Yeah.
People don't believe that.
Speak for yourself. Yes.
Get out of work. Took a nap. I napped a little bit too long.
Yeah.
But Juliana had soccer, so I said after soccer, let's grab a bite to eat.
Sure.
So it was everybody's bright idea. Juliana's obsessed with going to this Korean hot pot.
Of course.
Another Oriental. Last week I went to the Oriental place over here.
Yeah.
This week the Oriental one.
You're right.
Over in
right. Every single Tuesday you have to come in here smelling like the Korean War for some reason.
Wow. No, a Korean whore.
Yeah. Right. That too.
So the hot.
That's
pot,
Wednesday nights.
If you don't know the hot pot, what you do is you order a bunch of meat and a bunch of vegetables, and you order a broth, and they boil this broth in front of you, and they bring all the raw meat and raw seafood and stuff over to you, and you cook it yourself and give yourself salmonella.
Yeah,
that's basically the you give yourself botulism.
And did they at some point spill it on you? Because I can literally the smell is permeating, but we're happy you're here.
I'm sure you were going to say it.
What?
We're even happier that we have a special guest today.
Well, you can say it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Say it. Yeah.
I'm excited. One of our best friends who hasn't been on the show yet.
Right.
We've been asking him to come here, and he's finally available. Ladies and gentlemen, the very funny comedian, actor, musician, Eric Haft.
Well, thank you.
Bird Haft. Lady Bird Haft is here.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Well, thanks for having me.
No, thank you for being here.
The multi-talented, almost you can say Renaissance man, if you want.
I would consider him a Renaissance man.
Yeah. We're excited to have. We love Eric Haft from a personal standpoint. We've done, you would think that we wouldn't need to do research just because we know him so well, but this is not that kind of show. This is the kind of show that does their research to make sure that we want to be prepared with questions. We want to look like we're professionals. At least one of us do,
look like it.
obviously.
As far as these people know, I was here
that's
20
true.
minutes before the show started.
It's true. It is true. That's a good point. Well, I'm telling you that he wasn't.
And oh my god,
okay?
I was getting anxiety on the way here because I was feeling Mark's anxiety.
But I was fine though. Like I knew
Mark was changing the sign.
Yeah,
he was like, "It's the Hershey and Haft. Fuck you.
Yeah,
he's out. He's out."
I'm like, how do I? Yeah, exactly. Hershey and the Haft.
Because my phone was dead because Juliana. So
yeah.
I couldn't text you to be like, "Oh, I'm 5 minutes away. I'll be right there."
No, that's responsible to let your baby girl handle your phone. Oh boy,
full of pornographic.
Don't do it, Tony.
I won't if you don't want me to.
We know when the show starts and that phone rings, it's usually not something good.
Not at all.
So we're gonna leave that alone.
Do you know how much pornography there is on my phone that I get anxiety whenever Juliana's got my phone in her hand?
I'd imagine it's a disgrace. But speaking of pornography, let's touch a little bit on Mr. Eric Marie Haft.
Yes, please.
Our good friend. I did a little research. Some of the I kind of reached out to some people and I wanted to find out what their what their take was on you, what their feeling was, doing a little behind the scenes work, and some of the words that that came to their mind when I asked them about you were flamboyant,
Wow.
flaming, in the closet, gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that,
Right.
But
Anyway, before it was popular.
Anyway,
Way before it was in fashion.
anyway, welcome to the show.
And all those people he interviewed were me and him.
Yes,
that's right. We'll just go back and forth all day.
Correct.
All day.
Nah, but Eric is super, super talented.
Yes.
Not only is he's a great comedian, that's how I know him.
Yeah.
A musician, which I didn't know how great. I didn't know he was like a professional trained musician.
Yeah.
My favorite, the time I really found out was we were at John Consoli's house.
Oh, yeah.
Our buddy John Consoli. And
Yes.
we
Another good
were
band.
all drinking, and Consoli took out his guitar, and Eric had the little drum thing that he has.
Right, just bongos.
And he started playing these things, and it was just unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And Richie Byrne was there trying to sing, but he was
Right.
in and out of
Horrible.
consciousness.
We
Yeah.
love you, Richie, but
Yeah.
Yeah, not so
Ouch.
good.
no, we had a great time.
So, for people who don't know, so Eric has been a stand-up comic for 14 years almost, I believe it is. This summer will be 14 years. But previous to that, he was a professional drummer, still is for many years before that. I believe, can you correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't your comedy career start when you had a random meeting with Rich Walker when you were out doing a music event?
Yeah,
What was
Villa Lombardi. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was packing up my drums, going home from a wedding.
So you were doing a gig at a wedding, and how does the whole Rich Walker, who's a good friend of ours, stand-up comic, a mentor, teacher, so you see him at Villa Lombardi's in the parking lot.
He sees me because I'm loading drums into the car.
Yeah.
And he rolls down the window and he's like, are you leaving? I need the spot. I got to unload.
Yeah.
So I just assumed he was a musician. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, give me like 5 minutes. I'm out of here. By the way, what band are you in? That kind
Right.
of thing. And he's like, no, I'm not in a band. I'm doing a comedy show here tonight. And I just like immediately said, oh man, I always dreamt of being a stand-up comedian. And of course,
Hey, I
Rich
teach a
Walker-
class. Give me some money.
Eric, you're not gonna believe this, So he, unbelievable, So he came out, gave me his card,
Yeah.
and now he's selling me as I'm loading my drum. I'm like, just give me like a minute. I'm just, he's like, no, you gotta take this class.
Oh, God.
And of course, there was like no way I was taking a class because I never believed you could learn comedy anyway.
Right.
It was just either you're funny or you're not.
Right. Well,
But
you were right. Your first inclination was right.
well, it was one of those. It was a bad time in my life, so I was kind of like at the very low. When I'm doing gigs at like at that age, I was still doing weddings and stuff, and it was so depressed. It was kind of like you'd be behind the drums playing the gig, everybody's having a good time, and in my head I was going, God, I just fucking hate this.
Yeah.
14 years ago, you were 55. So
Yeah, so that's it,
okay.
yeah.
Now it was
Like, this fucking sucks.
Let's just say for a second that chance meeting never happened. You may never would have done stand-up comedy.
I had one brush with comedy before that.
Yeah.
I went to a bachelor party at the old, McGuire's. When it
Yeah.
was McGuire's, I guess Ryerson owned it.
Yeah, they
And
called
I
it
went
the
to a
old
bachelor
McGuire's.
party, and they used to McGuire's. No, but I and at the end of all the comics went up, and at the end of the night they had a joke off.
Okay.
And it was like, I was gonna ask where
Me
am
and
I
my
looking?
friend-
I'm
over
gonna
here?
yes. I'm gonna say it's different. It's different.
Different than what me and my
Not
friends used to have?
No, not joke off.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got on stage and told a joke and won the contest, but that wasn't comedy. It was
No.
like you told a joke,
Yeah.
But just being, the class did get me on stage, so that was the trick.
But
it
the
got me on stage.
The class was the beginning for you. The class got you into things. Obviously, once you were in it long enough, you realized to get rid of everything that you had learned at the in the class.
Well,
and
like
They
Eric
didn't
said,
know what
though,
to do with me. They didn't know what to do. Bales gave up.
Yeah.
Bales was like, Rich, you got to deal with this guy, because I would go in and I was doing like the waiter.
Yeah.
I was like, I got this idea. I go to this restaurant and I really like, and I start doing the waiter, and he's like, I don't know what to do with that.
love that
And,
bit.
and Rich Walker.
we've never had a transgendered married man of 3 here in the class.
This is new.
Laugh, Tony,
But-
out loud. Come on,
It
buddy.
was, it was the same for me though, because I didn't know how to get on stage, and then I was at a show here.
Yep.
I was here seeing Pauly Shore, and I saw that they had a comedy class, and I'm like, it shows that when you graduate the comedy class, you get to be on stage at Governor's.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this class. The same way. I don't think you could learn comedy, but just to get on stage here. And
Jerry Lewis said it, like, whether you like the guy or you don't. He said, someone said, can you learn to be funny? And he said, yeah, you could definitely learn to be funny. He said, but it won't be the kind of funny you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
you're right.
Right.
The kind of funny you're talking about, it's in your bones.
Yeah.
You got to, and...
And yet, despite that, both of you have had successful comedy careers.
We're the exception.
we can fool them like the best of them.
Hey, ladies! You guys both fooled Jerry Lewis. May you rest in peace. That's amazing.
Yes.
So cool.
Jer
Well,
is my friend
Jer.
Joe. My friend
Jer.
Joe
That's
likes to call him Jer.
Yeah.
So as far as my relationship with Eric, I had met Eric through Rich Walker. I think one of the first times we ever hung out was Walker had won the Long Island Press. Is that what it's called? What was the
Beth Page Best of Long Island, I think.
Beth? It wasn't Beth Page. At
I
the time.
voted for myself.com, yes.
Yeah,
He won that several times.
and he invited me and Eric as his guests to the event, and it was at what was that fancy place where the guy got shot in the head? The owner, Oheka Castle.
Oheka.
Castle.
So we went, and we had known each other a little bit, but we hit it off, and we became very good friends, Eric and I, and we started talking a lot. I mean, basically, the phone calls would be 45 minutes. 44 minutes of Eric telling me about his previous gig and 1 minute of me saying, my kid had a
I gotta
baseball
go.
game today.
Max is doing great.
Max had a
Oh,
the
you have
baseball game.
kids?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't even think I've ever told you this story. So Eric and I were friends for, I would say, a good 3 or 4 years, probably, like close friends. And randomly, during one conversation, it was probably the first time he'd ever asked about me, anything about me at all.
I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah, so he says to me, "It's nice texture you have here."
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Still
Please don't
smells
touch
like
me
Korea, though. So he had said to me, he goes, I just realized you're from Valley Stream. Do you happen to know a girl named Sherry Liebling? He says to me, and I'm like, Sherry Liebling? She's one of my closest friends since I'm a teenager. She's like, shut the fuck up. That's what he said. I'm like, no. I'm like, mother's name is Linda, father's name was Mark, brother's names are Adam,
Yeah, he knew it
Michael,
all.
and so
He knew it
forth.
all.
And he was blown away. And I'm like, why? He goes, that's my cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know this.
So it was his cousin, and I said, well, why don't we plan like a get together? And within like 2 weeks, we had plans for us, our kids, Sherry and her kids, and we met at
White Post, I
We
think.
met at the diner in Melville, and then we went to White Post Farms. And it was a very like weird, surreal two worlds crashing upon each other. And me, Eric, and Sherry spent the day together. You know, it was hilarious.
We talked about me a lot. It was
Yeah,
mostly
yeah.
about me.
Well, the common bond, right?
Exactly, yeah. He's the glue that held
Yeah.
that day together.
No, but there's a lot of weird stuff with us.
That was a big one, but she's actually subsequently come to shows of ours, and she will be listening to this show probably because she's a school teacher, so she goes to sleep early, but she'll be listening to the replay tomorrow.
Yes.
So hi, cousin Sherry, we both
Yeah.
love you.
Love
Yeah,
you,
she-
Sherry.
And
So we won't tell that story that you told me before about her?
no, we won't. We won't tell that one. We won't tell that one. But yeah, so Eric
That's
is thriving. Eric recently, for those who didn't know this, was on a show with the Howard Stern show celeb Sal, the stockbroker Governale, where not only did Eric open up the show at the Argyle Theater, was it?
Argyle, yeah.
With 20 or 30 minutes of stand-up comedy, but he was also the drummer for Billy Mira and Sal Governale and the Billy Mira Band.
The Hitmen.
And-
Hitman.
and
Hitman.
that's like throwback kind of shit. That's like Dean Martin, telling jokes, and then
Yeah, it really,
You know?
it really is. And Billy Muir is super talented. I've seen him. He does shows at the Westbury Manor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And him and I have become very close. But I'm
Yeah.
friends with Francesco, who runs the Westbury Manor.
yeah, Mike
So-
Francesca, yeah,
Mike Francesa.
yeah,
So I've gone to see Billy there. What a super talented guy that is. And
Yeah.
that is just an old, Dean Martin,
It's
Jerry
like an old
Lewis kind of
Renaissance
thing.
man.
And,
Well, the Governale, that is a weird thing too, because he used to come to the governor's. I think he still comes to the governor's Christmas
oh
party.
yeah, he was there this year.
And
yeah.
one year he comes up to me and he goes, "Holy shit! You're Eric Haft, the famous, and I'm like, stop it, dude. I'm like, you're Sal Governale.
Right.
He goes, you don't understand. For my whole life, all I've ever heard is Eric Haft. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he said, well, and he tells me of my parents' dearest friends, who are like my second parents.
Right.
Morty and Sheila Holtzman, who
Right.
I'll tell them to listen.
Yeah.
Literally, they were like my second parents. Their kids are best friends with Sal.
Oh, see, we were
And it was
wondering how
like-
you got that gig.
Yeah,
That was-
Well,
no, but it was like I used to see Sal and I'd see him on stage.
well, because Sal Governale was the creator of Governors.
it's Governale's comedy show.
Going out. No, but it's like all these weird coincidences. And he
Yeah.
called me and he's like, dude, can you do 20 minutes?
That's awesome.
For our Christmas show at Governor's, which we did. And he said, by the way, are you really a drummer? I mean, can you really
Yeah.
play? And I was like, yeah. He goes, no, but can you like really?
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
could play.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
Can you read music? I'm like, yeah. And then we got into it. So
Very cool. That's
it
awesome.
worked out. It was fun.
I love Sal. Super sweet
Sal's
guy.
sweet, man.
He's always
They're-
been nice.
they're
He's been
great
nice to
guys.
me since I started. Like I did a fundraiser for him when I was like brand new and I was terrible, and he still
Yeah.
spoke to me after that. Because like I,
When he
and I
was
was
terrible.
like, when I used to be terrible. But yeah, just and I was in kind of starstruck the first time I met him because I listened to him every day on Stern.
Of course.
when the show was
He's
listenable.
a big guy.
Yeah.
Showing his testicles to Howard Stern and things of that nature. Absolutely.
He's a humble man.
He really
He's
is.
a good man.
He's a
He's a
great
nice
guy.
man.
So
Yeah,
that's
he's-
that. Renaissance. Yes, Renaissance.
Eric Haft, a Renaissance man, a good father, a business owner. Also, he gave me my first professional gig. Okay?
Likewise.
I was doing stand up for maybe 10 or 11 months, and he had called me and he said, "Do you want to do a spot at the hotel in Riverhead?"
Oh my God!
What was it called?
The Indigo.
Indigo Hotel out in Riverhead.
Yep.
And get a load of this. I was opening for none other than George the puppet and Vince
enjoy-
D'Antona.
Yeah, Vince
Vince
D'Antona.
D'Antona
And George, yeah.
And I have to tell you something. It was a very surreal thing for me because I had watched Vince for many years, and he was there was no better I don't care what anyone says. There was no better ventriloquist than
Nah.
Vince, and no better man. He was the nicest guy. And so I did my spot, maybe 15, 12 minutes, whatever it was, and I'm sure I barely skated through. Let's put it that
You
way.
actually did well. I remember you doing well.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a fun show.
But Vince came up to me after the show, and I will tell you that he made me feel like $1 million.
Yep.
He could not have been nicer. He's like, "Man, that's your first professional gig. You killed it." And he just was so sweet. And sadly, he passed not that long after that,
Yep.
Vince. But yeah, he was terrific. And I remember that night as I was leaving, Eric handed me an envelope, and I was like, "What's this?" And he's like, "You're a professional comic now. You're getting paid." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I didn't even expect it. I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I did what I normally do with things like that. I give it to my wife. But it was such a cool thing, and I'll never forget that. And that's finally why I have him on the show tonight to repay him back.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
this
thank
is
you for that.
absolutely.
13 years.
Yeah.
You finally fucking
I
woke
got him
up.
back.
Do you have the envelope for him? For
I
the,
have it. I have it.
but
With
likewise,
the same $5 I have.
clockwise.
Yeah.
I
Clockwise.
had the same experience.
Clockwise,
I think
Marcus.
you recommended me to Eric. You were booking it was a wine bar.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, Ben 56.
Bin
Yeah.
56
in Huntington.
In Huntington, yeah.
I got
And that
Raz
was
there.
my first, believe it was my first paid gig. If not, it was my second. But
Hey,
Okay.
the fact is, when we all started, I don't know about you guys, I know you for a fact, but I couldn't get stage time anywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, it was impossible.
Absolutely.
So I was one of these guys, I started so late that I was like, if I don't freaking come up with something on my own,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
never going to perform anywhere.
Yeah.
No, it's
And-
not typical that someone starts in their late 50s like you did, but you've really come a long way. I personally,
Hate your act.
you guys
I'll
know,
fill in the blanks. You just start the sentences.
You guys know that
you
I've,
could be like
I,
Vince and George. Just-
I've never had much of a hard time getting stage time. I turned down more stage time, than I
Mostly
received.
from me.
Yeah.
Here's
No,
the
no,
phone.
no, I
Here's
got a lot
the
of that
phone
from him,
call.
too.
He's turned me down a lot
Okay.
also.
I'm
yeah.
not the only one. Hey, Mark, would you? Nah. Maybe
fine.
next time, but
It's-
hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
It's 500.
Hey, buddy.
It's $500 in Hicksville. Sorry, can't do it.
No, it was funny. Mike was with another comic. This was like 6 months ago, and he's like, "Hey, I'm with so and so. They want to know if you want to work their gig on this date." And I was like, "Tell them no."
I'm like, all right, I'll tell them. What do you have to do? No, I just know.
I just know. I don't want to do it. What a horrible businessman comic.
And how you still are
Irrelevant.
a relevant person.
One of the things that when Tony and I first started getting to know each other and we were on a project together and then he used to ask me, he's like, "Why do these guys respect you? Why are you relevant to them?" Remember you used to ask me that?
I still bring that up on my show. I still bring it up all the
Exactly.
time. Why do they talk to him? He's Jewish. He's paying them money or something.
No, but you never understood why like some comics with some real chops would be like speak about me with some reverence.
I still don't.
Yeah, like would. And you still don't know the answer.
I've known you for 12 years as a we're in the same business together.
Yeah.
I've seen you on stage 3 times.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
I love when Mark is nervous on stage because he curses. It's so
Yeah.
so
Nervous
much.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like if you put him in a tight spot, he's like he comes through with that. Hey, you motherfucker!
Yeah. I like
fuckers!
I become-
Hey, fucking fuckers!
Yeah.
You motherfuckers!
I become like that old Phillies outfielder Jim Eisenreich with the right. It's crazy. Yeah.
Nah, you always did well. That's you
do well.
That's also what bothers me.
time.
Is he always does well,
Yeah.
and he fucking doesn't go up ever.
Yeah.
All I know is everybody's first set in comedy, and pretty much, he's like, "Hey, did you ever see my first set?" And it's like governors packed. It's like packed.
Right.
It's 400 people, and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Hirschman, standing ovation.
Yeah, that was nuts.
No, right, exactly.
it.
I'm like, yeah, that wasn't my first time on stage.
When I started, I was doing open mics at a tattoo shop. That's.
So you were doing tattoo Skin Deep, I think? And,
No, it was Wild Child.
Wild
Oh,
Child.
on Sunrise Highway.
Yeah.
So me and Eric were just talking about the other day. He used to do Chesterfields in Huntington in that little bar
used to be
lounge,
Fast
second
Eddie's
floor. Yeah.
upstairs.
And now it's they're booking something there. It's something else now.
Are they booking comedy up there?
Yeah, Johnny McDonald's booking comedy.
Oh,
shows
get out of there.
Yeah.
Is that the haha?
No, it's not the haha. It's Butterworths. I don't know. It's something.
Oh, it's a campaign to get the syrup back? Is that what it is?
Exactly.
Butterworths?
If you look at Johnny McDonald's Facebook page, it's on there. But they are doing comedy.
They're doing
there.
comedy, really?
Yeah.
So me and Eric were together at an event about a week or so ago, and I was saying that when I first before I started comedy and I was working at Briarcliff College, Paul Anthony, the booker, who was very fond of you as well.
We've met.
Yeah. So what happened was he used to call Briarcliff College and he would try to bring his festival to Briarcliff. Okay. This was before I ever thought of doing stand up. Yeah. And they used to get so annoyed that they'd be like, just send him to Hirschman's line. He likes, he watches these stupid videos all day in his office. So Paul Anthony had said to me, he's like, dude, you're pretty funny. Why don't you do stand up? This was after many conversations. I'm like, I don't know the first thing about doing stand up. He's like, well, you can hire me and I'll coach you. And I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. And then he never mentioned Walker's class or anything like that, but he did mention that there were open mics in a room called Chesterfields in Huntington. Mm-hmm. And this was 2009, 2008. So me and my buddy David Kay went one night and get a load of the lineup that we saw at this room. We saw Harry Friedman.
Stop right there.
Stop, enough. Hold
Say
on.
no more.
Name dropper. So we saw Harry Friedman, Joey Giarratano, my buddy Joey G, was hosting. He was like 22 years old, whatever, and was killing it. George Gallo, of course. Jessica Colazzo, okay. Some guy named Stoney. What was his?
Stoney,
Oh, that guy hates
rip his
me.
shirt
Yeah,
off.
he used to rip his shirt off. But I remember thinking, like, these fucking people are funny. Like, they're really doing it.
Yeah.
And I soon thereafter took the class. A buddy of mine had signed me up to do the class, and I did it. But that was a cool ass room.
Yeah, it's something now. They're still doing comedy there. And,
Yeah, we'll go. We'll go one night.
Yeah, they do it like the first Thursday of every month, like once a month. Johnny McDonald does it.
I do want to talk a little bit about, and I want to thank Eric again.
Farnsworth's? I don't know.
You were supposed to.
Crabtrees.
You were supposed to come with me.
Crabtrees.
You were supposed to come with me. I'm touching you a lot today. I don't know what it is.
Please do.
you were supposed to come with me to an event a couple of weeks ago. So basically, what happened, people, is that show friend Danny Cohen, great comic, a dear friend of mine. Eric knows him, Mikey knows him. He's been on this show. He has been in the midst of writing a screenplay for quite a long time. What are you doing, Mike? What the fuck are you doing? You're smelling the microphone? Seriously, are you having sake?
He's doing a Korean check test.
What are you doing?
He wants to make sure his breath
No,
doesn't
sir, what is
smell like Korean.
wrong with you? Are you getting sake squirts in the mouth again?
I think I have seafood breath and it's on the microphone.
No, I'm telling you, you smell like the Korean War right now. You really do. But did you think that you were?
What was that with the shot that you? What was
Oh
that?
my God,
Did you get
the
zooted
sake
again today?
Yeah. Oh, is that sake? Oh,
Last
that's
week
right.
it was
Did
the
you get
sake,
pie-eyed
yeah.
again? Did you get?
No, I didn't
Oh.
drink tonight.
Oh,
but
okay.
Last week was the sake. The guy wouldn't let me finish.
Oh my God! Well, I will say, by the way, that last week's show was very well received, and I had gotten multiple texts like, "Mike should get trashed before every show."
Let's do that. Let's.
I have
make
wine,
that
by the way.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Crack it open.
So anyway, Danny Cohen has been writing the screenplay, and I guess a couple of months ago he reached out. He's like, "Well, the screenplay is done, and I'm holding a reading of it at the Comedy Cellar, and there are going to be some pretty high-profile people there, and I want you to be one of the readers." And I was like so humbled by it.
Yeah.
So I invited you to come. You were going to come as an audience member, and last minute you had to back out. You feigned some sort of excuse about boss and
Something
work
about my
and
boss with
some bullshit thing.
maybe a baby.
But of course, you know that there was zero chance I was heading into Manhattan by myself at 1:00 in the afternoon because it's so dangerous to head into Manhattan.
So take Flamboyant with you.
So yeah, exactly. I was going to take my.
He'll stop everybody.
Yeah, I was going to take my muscle with me, the 4'11" gray-haired little Jew. So Eric came.
I didn't know you went. Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Eric came and he got to be in the audience. And I won't mention names, but there was some pretty heavy hitter comics there or whatever. And you got
Harry
to see
Friedman.
Harry Friedman was there. Jessica
Very high
Palazzo.
profile,
But you saw hopefully hopefully you had a good day that day. I appreciate you
It was
coming
amazing.
with me.
I have to say, Danny Cohen, man, what a talent! You talk about
Yeah.
Talented kid.
serious, and another one who doesn't do comedy. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, Danny, listen, they want you for a new sitcom. Yeah, I'll be in Israel.
Yeah.
You know,
But, and then when he does do comedy, he's at the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah.
He's at
Right,
Gotham.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
What the fuck is with you people?
He's a
just,
killer.
He's just the screenplay was amazing. It really was. It
He
was
had
like
me
watching-
read for 3 parts. And it was like, really, I'm not an actor. I don't ever
You
act
rocked
or
it.
anything.
How you do?
You
Did
did
he
great.
really?
You really were.
Well, I'll
He did-
tell you.
He played a rabbi.
Yeah. With the- I did.
Hello, the least Jewy Jew, and he was the rabbi.
So my first line, and I will say, once I said it, I nailed it. I'm like, oh my God, I sound like a fucking Jew. I really do. The line was, they were talking about a moose head, in the
Yes.
house, like a moose that was killed. And my line was, maybe the moose head? That was the line. And I'm like, wow. And people started laughing. And I'm like, maybe I am a good actor.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
like
so I played that. I played an animated character called the Skeleton that was his friend when he was a
Yes.
little boy.
Yep.
And I played a snarky, sarcastic restaurant patron named Ray.
Yeah.
Which really felt like I was
That
right
was
in my
good.
wheelhouse.
That was your best.
Method acting.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, this like I'm reading my own words here. You know?
I've been preparing for this role my whole life.
I've been preparing for this my whole life. But we got to spend a couple hours there, and it was super cool. And
And you were reading with some like serious actors.
oh,
Like,
there
these
was some
guys were
legit. There was
serious-
like a guy who was on Law and Order, and
but like major parts. These
yeah.
guys are like,
Yeah, it was
the real
big.
deal. Yeah. It was
So yeah,
cool.
you missed out on a lot.
I know. I was pissed.
Yeah,
I really wanted.
No, yeah, I know you
did
wanted
wanna
to
go.
comment, and
Mark was nice enough to buy me a $1.50 slice of the shittiest pizza that I think he ran to the bathroom before I got
You know what's
there.
so funny
It
is
was
that
so bad.
we got
Was
there
it like the
early.
99-cent pizza place?
We got there early, and we were like, let's go have some city pizza, And we went to one place, and it just looked despicable. We went to another place, and it was even worse. I'm like, Manhattan pizza blows. Like,
we went to Sabaro.
honestly, we would have done much better at Sabaro.
Yeah,
we would have done much better.
Really,
at
the
Sbarro.
bottom. It was like
Yeah.
matzo pizza.
It was.
We were on
awful.
McDougal, right? Ben's is right there. Ben's is no good.
We wanted pizza. We didn't want Ben's pizza.
No,
We
not
want-
not Ben's Deli. you Jew, you two Jews.
Can I get a knish,
There's a
please?
pizzeria on the corner called Ben's.
Is it chopped liver pizza? What are they doing now?
I'll take the Canadian lock.
What? On top of a pizza? That's weird. A Canadian on top of dough.
You have a Knish Sicilian slice? I'll take the Knish square
Give
slice.
me one pastrami and one chopped liver to go.
Right.
Could it be the moose head? I don't know.
I'll take a corned beef roll, please.
We're on to something.
We
Yes.
didn't see that. We just saw a couple places, and although actually later on in the day, Danny ordered pizza in that was better. It was from Joe's.
It was. Yeah, Joe's Pizza. That was it.
But I don't think Rosie's, what's it called in Penn Station?
Roses.
Well, it's not open yet, but Penn Station is totally being
Those are the
revamped.
Totally
Like
place.
Crazy.
it was
They had those giant slices at Roses Pizza.
yeah. So that
Irene
was a good
Bremis's husband used to own a pizzeria right there on McDougal Street. It's not there anymore though; they closed up. But
Oh.
they had very, very good pizza.
thing. That's not going to help at all.
No,
right
no,
now.
that's not going to help anybody right now.
No. That's I'm saying.
Well, we do have a surprise that,
so
at some
yeah.
point.
So I don't know.
Oh, by the way, and I'm a freaking cook, too. I cook.
Yeah, well, I was gonna bring that up also. Like, is there anything this guy is not good at? I'm so furious. Seriously, is there anything you suck at?
He's PP.
Yeah.
Humility.
Wieners.
No,
So-
I have fun. It's what it is. It's like giving someone a gift, right?
Yeah.
It always
Yeah.
feels good to give people.
So for those who are not friends with Eric on Facebook, you'll see that he will periodically post almost to like taunt and tantalize people. He'll post like just hunks of beautiful meat that he
my
had just
God.
cooked, whether it's a prime rib or a corned beef or ribs or whatever.
Wagyu
So-
beef ribs. A couple weeks ago, I went to Eric's house.
Yeah, I know you
my
went,
God.
fucker. I understand.
Yeah.
I got a half-ass invite about
Oh,
an hour.
come
before
on.
it
We
happened.
planned it the day before, Mr.
Well,
Fancy Pants.
Hold on a
I
second.
need a formal
If you remember,
invitation.
though, at the beginning of the pandemic, we were still like people were like still masking, not masking. Eric had an event where it was me, you, Schenliger, Walker,
Bales.
Bales was there.
Richie Byrne, Johnny Consoli, and Eric and his son Joshua, who's a friend of mine and a good man. They went berserk.
Unbelievable.
I don't remember.
Like,
Was there Wagobi? What was it
No,
called?
we didn't do Wagyu. We did short ribs.
Short ribs,
We did brisket.
brisket,
And
fries.
Josh made the best fries I've ever had.
Holy
in my
shit.
God,
entire
he
life.
makes homemade. Yeah, he hand slices
Listen,
the fries. He's
I have never seen savages go through hunks of meat like this.
It was incredible.
Right?
It
And
Like
was-
we were all discussing savages, but Richie Byrne is disgusting. You gotta see the guy
Richie.
went through all the food. He stole like 3-year cigars
and like high quality, expensive cigars. He's like, I'm just gonna take another one. I'm like, these aren't fucking parliaments, brother. Okay?
and then he farts the entire way home.
Oh. This is the Renaissance man that we were
That's
talking
right,
about.
yeah. He's
So,
the total package.
He's a throwback.
So Eric did it totally right that night for us. We had a great night. Most recently, he had a night where you, Consoli, and Richie were over.
Well, to be fair, Consoli actually started it at his house.
Yeah.
He invited us over, so that
Yeah.
was like the group of 4 guys.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
The core
And-
four, we call ourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
gotcha.
and they're all animals that like to eat.
Yeah.
Where we all like
Yeah,
beef.
Yeah.
drinks,
So
cigars.
that was the first
eat-
one.
yeah.
Then it was my turn, and we did it together.
So
and
cool.
this one we were overdue.
It was impromptu, but it was overdue, and it was.
And I had these Wagyu beef ribs in my
John
refrigerator.
Consoli is the biggest food snob you will ever meet. Like,
Well, he's
a-
also he knows
he's
good
a great
food.
chef.
Yeah,
exactly.
he knows good food.
And for him to say this is one of the best meals I've ever had.
that's
Yeah, that was
phenomenal.
a good night.
Yeah.
It was a good night.
So today, when Eric posted his promo video for coming on the show, you were by your smoker. You were outside by your smoker, and when I walked in, Tony's like, "Is Eric bringing food?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. I didn't talk to Eric other than, hey, see you at 8:45." So then, a few minutes before the show starts, he walks in with a Yeti. He walks in with I don't know what you have. I honestly
Right.
don't know.
So I
That's
got
not-
home late. Well, I mean, I got home early, but it was late. So I said, I think I have enough time because the
Yeah.
show starts late.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had 2 racks of beautiful short ribs. I got
wow.
the smoker
Oh my
going, and I have to at least show your audience if
Yeah,
that's
show
possible.
them my,
So
my
why don't-
and then
so-
we'll eat them. And
Yeah, I'm gonna say. So why don't you? We'll talk. You want to
Yeah.
prepare? I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know if we're
I'll
gonna
at
start.
least show them.
Yeah.
You talk.
my
Yeah.
nipples quiver in anticipation.
But I can't
Yeah.
come here without at least bringing something.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, Mike always does. Me and Tony come with gifts a lot. Actually, Mike does not.
I am your gift.
Yeah.
Hey, I have to say this. You guys, because you're going to end and we're going to not, but you guys are great friends in the comedy world.
Not
Mike
anymore.
and I get to work together a lot.
Yeah.
And when we do, we're for. I mean, you say no, but
Yeah.
we often get to do shows together.
Yeah.
Either he's headlining and I'm the middle. He's headlining.
Right.
Either
Must
way.
be really good shows.
No, but like we
They're always
Where
great
is this?
though.
But for some reason,
Where are
the
you guys?
chemistry is like with the two of us.
You know what it is? We're
different.
totally different
Totally
acts.
Hey, we'll go to that show where Mike Keegan's headlining and half is middling. Where is that going to be?
Have you ever seen
what
him
VFW
eat a
hall?
hot dog?
Yeah.
No, but come on.
But no, that's a good. That's a
we
great
have
show.
good chemistry, man.
a
We
great
rock
show.
and roll.
You know what
Yeah.
it is? People could tell how much fun we're having because we enjoy what we're doing. A show
Now,
together.
you guys also you'll share an alcoholic beverage, maybe a glass
Every
of
once
wine.
in a while, we might nip.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
might have a nip.
Come on. We're alcoholics.
We've
No. You guys
Or-
hold your.
Or we went through 6 bottles of wine the other night at his house, and there were 4 of
Wait,
us.
I started with Manhattans. I made
God.
everybody Manhattans.
This is the other night when you guys. Okay.
And Consoli, well, if you're making a Manhattan,
He's
I'll
a
have
classy
one,
guy, though. He knows
so
what to drink.
I made him a Manhattan. It was on the rocks and with the twist of orange and the whole. He's like, dude, this is the best Manhattan. I'm not,
And then
I
you-
just love doing this stuff.
and then
It's
you
not-
made one for
It
Richie
gets
Byrne.
good because you make a million of them.
And then you made one for Richie Byrne. I'm like, what a waste! You could give him fucking Georgie on the
Oh
rocks.
my God! He
And
walks
so-
in. His contribution is, "I bought you. It's in the bag. I bought you a bottle of bourbon."
I love him.
And he drops it on the counter.
A Magnum
you-
Jim Beam.
You would say it's safe to say that you like to putter around the kitchen.
Putter's a good word.
Putter flutter.
Yeah. So get yourself prepared.
Let me see
It-
what I
it-
got.
It is nice
The
that you did
funniest
that.
thing though that we all noticed with Eric though is like after we ate, we're all just hanging around having a
Yeah.
couple drinks, and he's cleaning. He's feverishly cleaning the house.
Yeah.
While we're trying to like have a conversation.
The nerve of him. He's cleaning his house.
Wait till we leave. God damn it.
I like how Tony brought in a couple of months ago the bear claws from Texas. What was it called?
Bucky's.
Bucky's, the peanut butter, and I brought in. And Mike doesn't bring in food, but he brings in the smell of food. Yeah, so like, wow, that's Mike, Korean barbecue
I'm
today.
bringing you the essence of Korean hot pot.
Yeah, I got you.
Now you should be able to smell something.
And I'm telling you right now,
Wow.
I smell this food.
That's outstanding, dude.
It's very smoky.
And people have to realize this doesn't take a little effort. This is a lot of effort
Oh
here.
my god, look at that.
Holy
We can get a
jeez.
shot. We can get a
Pretty,
shot of
pretty.
that. Oh my.
That's
goodness.
really pretty. That's
didn't
really
I touched the
Look
bone.
at Tony,
I
how
touched
excited he is. Tony, you get some too. Don't worry.
It smells.
Really,
so,
Vincent?
it smells so
Isn't
good
that
in
nice?
here.
You
Such
smell
a
that?
smoky deliciousness.
Oh, finally, the smell of Korea is out. Thank God. That looks terrific. Really good.
It was just. It's a work of art. What this
Yeah.
guy does with meat.
You know what happens. You got to do it right, man.
When we had Wagyu beef ribs at his house, they were just. They melt in your mouth.
But the short ribs we had that Joshua had helped make, the short ribs with the fries, was
Loves are
outstanding.
coming. All right. Come. Make
right,
sure I don't have any polyps.
You know what? Do you ever see, by the way, and I don't know if you see this, but a lot of TikToks are people with these black gloves cutting these big hunks of
Yeah,
meat.
yeah.
Eric should be doing that.
Yeah, you should. You really should be putting content out. Do
You're-
you put them up there?
You're a black glove meat cutter.
I'll tell you, I have a little. It's called a Pivo that you put your
Oh
phone
my
on,
God.
and it takes those close up videos that you can take when you're cutting the food, like the content creators do.
Lessons from you guys on how to do this properly.
Oh man.
Yeah, but oh my god, he's got a
Did you
he's
ever
got a
see the
chef's
pictures?
knife set too. Oh
Holy
my god,
Jesus. Is this all on
he's got
video?
the
It is.
ginsu.
Did you ever see that he had posted video of this special bacon that he bought? Like, it was like each slice was like an inch or two
Yeah,
thick.
yeah.
Bacon. You you told me you went to a butcher and bought special bacon. This is a while
we make
ago.
our own bacon. Josh and I make our own bacon.
So what? You get a swine on your own? You get your
Making
own
bacon. That's what I would
Oh,
do the whole
dog
time.
commercial?
What is it?
Bacon,
It's
bacon,
the,
bacon, bacon.
It's bacon!
Pork belly bacon. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Look
like
at the
Everybody gets
look
a
at the
little bite.
smoke rings on. Oh my goodness! You want me to
got
pass
nice
them
smoke
down?
rings.
or-
No, I don't want you to pass them down. Fucking goddamn it!
Go in order. Go in order.
No, that's okay. Let's let
Sorry,
Tony have that
sorry.
one.
Look at the smoke ring on this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't. This probably needs a little something. Salt. I don't know.
I can't imagine it.
Probably not. Cheers.
Eat it.
Salud.
Oh my God. Holy Christ.
Does it have a good taste?
Oh my God, it's so juicy.
We need to invite her on the show more often. This is terrific.
The disgusting sounds of us chewing coming through the microphone.
I hear them in my ear.
Eric,
But I don't even
unbelievable.
care. This is great.
It
Really?
could, I could keep cooking these all day, but
Marron.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is so good. So juicy, so tender.
You just
Anyway.
called for Pat Maron?
Hey, Pat Marron.
Pat Maron.
and that's it. So like
Look at it.
you're
Look at
looking
that.
at that monster.
Look at that thing.
see the smoke ring.
Oh yeah.
That's what we go for. We go
Did-
for
are you
there
self-
you
Look
go.
at that.
You just pulled his meat?
Mike knows how to do it.
Yes, he
I
does.
didn't want it to fall on the floor, so I saved it.
Yeah, sure.
You know what it is? I rushed these a little bit. These probably could have cooked even another hour.
Oh,
But they could have been even softer. Why?
Mikey is just
What do you
too
do,
funny.
that animal?
I hear myself chewing in my.
Really unbelievable.
Oh my
Anyway.
goodness! This is it's so
Yeah, it's
unbelievably
delicious.
good. Such smoky deliciousness. Look at the smoke ring on that thing.
What does that mean, a smoke ring? I don't
Like
know
the,
what that
the
means.
ring around
See
the
the red?
little red ring around.
Yeah,
That-
ring
that's
around the
smoke.
rosy.
That's from that shows it's a sign of a good smoking.
Well, thank you for thinking about us. This is really very kind of you.
Just a little taste. You
That
know?
is so friggin' good.
Delicious.
I know
really
it's,
good.
I know it's a little messy, so you know.
By the way,
You have
speaking
any
of
side
food,
dishes?
right?
I do. I brought homemade chocolate.
Can you pass the Brussels sprouts?
Is
So
there
what-
cream spinach in there?
Speaking of food, by the way, last week I talked a lot about Vincent's and Zouk sauce and that whole thing, and I get a text from Mike the day after the show, and it's a picture of him in Vincent's. I'm like, so you are taunting me with the fact that you went to Vincent's the day after?
The day
I thought-
after.
That couldn't have been a plan. Like, tell me the dynamic of how that came about.
I'll tell you. It wasn't really a plan, but I don't know if these phones are like intuitive now. The next day I was in the office, and I got an advertisement on Facebook. It said Vincent's Thursday night shrimp fest.
Thursday night at Vince Wentz.
All I can think about is this meat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm done with the
And
show.
also the beefy cut,
and the,
too.
and the short ribs. Oh my goodness! Look at this.
Short
If you
rib.
All right,
guys
we're
can't
gonna,
see this.
So can we finish the show and then we'll?
Yeah. So I get an ad on Facebook that said Vincent's Thursday night shrimp fest.
What are the chances of that?
$26.99,
Yeah.
1 full pound of shrimp, and you get it in either fra diavolo, you get it scampi,
Ooh.
you get fried
Yum.
shrimp, and it comes with pasta. So I'm like, all right, we gotta go. And I was thinking of the show.
So you
the night
asked
before
mom and
also.
dad, like, hey, you want to go with me?
Yeah. Because Carl and Juliana were doing something, so I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, mom, dad, let's go to Vincent's." And of course, I had to get the zucchini wheels with the Zouk sauce.
And you didn't have to say anything, right? It was just fucking Zouk sauce.
I ordered Zouk. I said Zouk sauce though.
You did?
I didn't say. I didn't. I said just to please myself because
Yeah.
there was nobody else there.
You like to please
I
yourself.
said, I love pleasing myself.
Yeah.
I said, and that comes with a little Zouk sauce on the side. And the waiter looked at me like I was like.
Oh, so you were
in
like
on
an
the-
insider.
Yeah, I was like an insider.
Wow.
The whole meal was on the house after that. No,
That's
but,
amazing.
yeah,
So you
well-
spoke the code.
I spoke the
Yeah,
code.
they
I
give you
said,
like a
"What
little
is
high
this
sign
Zouk
or
sauce?"
something.
What is it?
So it's like a creamy horseradish.
It's like a horseradish white sauce. But when I called to order it a couple of weeks ago, the kid on the phone was like, "I don't know what your meat's saying, horseradish sauce." And when I went to pick
Because you
up
say
the food,
horseradish, that's why.
horseradish, he gave me an actual cup of horseradish. In addition to the Zouk sauce that he was calling it. But the menu doesn't say Zouk sauce, it says horseradish
Horseradish
sauce.
sauce, yeah.
Creamy
But this
horseradish
kid,
sauce.
the lingo in the kitchen must be, they called, hey, give him the Zouk sauce.
Yeah.
So Mike was,
So I went in
talking
there
the
next
lingo.
night, and when I ordered, I said, comes with a little Zouk sauce, right?" And he goes,
Hey, you work here?
"Hey,
Hey, you work here, Zouk?
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Oh, jeez.
Tony, I forgot I wanted to ask you something. Tony was, I feel like we missed that. Sometimes we leave Tony out, but we shouldn't because he does some fun things too. Tony, you drove down this weekend to South Carolina, North Carolina?
North Carolina, yeah, I did.
And I have a reason for bringing this up,
Okay.
and of course it's not anything serious. But if you want, you can say what you were there for, and we'll try to get past that as quick as possible.
Hey, that has to do with me too.
It does.
Oh, right. Yeah,
It
yeah,
does.
yeah.
I'm in that movie.
I
No,
actually
I had shows all weekend.
I actually have a scene that one of Eric's scenes all queued up. I was going to play it at the end.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I went to North Carolina this weekend for a film festival where Comic Sans was playing, which is a movie that we filmed here, starring Don Sill, starring Eric, starring Bosey, Joey Petroni, and
He's name dropping now.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Friedman.
Pick that up.
Harry Freeman was the star.
I can't wait until we find out that this episode has 65,000 views because people thought we had Anderson Cooper on the show. I can't wait for that. Anderson Cooper can cook,
Holy
boy!
crap.
Wow.
And well, I just want to say that I won't take up too much of your time, but the movie won first place.
So you guys were at what was the film festival?
Good job.
I'm sorry.
What was the film festival that you were at? What was the
It was the
event?
Eric Heft Film Festival.
It was the only movie that played.
Yes.
What was it called? It was in a town called Carborough,
Carborough. Okay.
which I never heard of.
Yeah. No.
You know what? Forgive me. I forget the.
the
forget what it was
Carborough
called.
Film Festival.
Sure, the
Probably.
good old Carborough Film Festival.
Yeah.
There was maybe 6 or 7 short films.
Okay.
I used to smoke Carborough Lights.
Yeah. You should go back to them.
Yeah, we won. It was an audience voting.
Wait,
They
so
got to pick
did you
the
go,
best
Don? Did Zachary go too?
one. Yes. Well, yeah. Don's from here. He's from Brentwood. He grew up here, but he did live down there for a time.
Okay.
And he has 3 of his 5 kids still live down there.
Oh, sheesh.
So and Don and I are cousins. So I hadn't seen his kids. Well, we're cousins through marriage. So I hadn't seen his kids for years.
Okay.
So I was excited. So yeah. So he said, "Why don't you come down? Why don't we go?" He goes, "I'll introduce you to some people to see his kids."
Yeah.
And it just happened to be a weekend where I didn't have anything going on. So I said, "Yeah, let's take a ride." And Zach, my son, who was the assistant director on this film, I said to him, "You have anything going on?" He said, "No." I said, "All right, cool. 3 of us will take a ride."
That's so cool.
Yeah,
cool.
and
Guys'
Don-
weekend.
But Don actually screwed up because then he actually invited Bosey, which really freaked me out.
Yeah.
And thankfully he said no because
Okay.
my son would have been
'Cause he
probably
had-
raped
'cause-
or something in the back seat.
Yeah.
Because Bosey had something going on.
I didn't ask. He just said no. That's all I needed to know. So yeah, so the 3 of us went down. We drove down there Saturday morning. Went to the festival.
How many people were at the festival? I mean, and showed up to it.
It wasn't like a huge thing.
Way to ruin a fucking story, Eric. You can say 7. Quick, let's get past
it
it.
was I don't know, 100
Oh,
maybe.
nice.
wow.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's
Yeah.
festive.
No, there wasn't.
No, it was around there somewhere. 30 maybe. Anywhere between 30 and 100. No, they showed. Some of these films were only 5 minutes. Some of them were a half hour. And,
So short films are usually between 5 and 30 minutes, usually.
Yeah, I would
Something
say.
like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll circle back to the reason why I was asking. I saw that you posted a picture, and I saw that you were driving. I think you were driving, and it made me immediately think. First of all, which leg do you have that's a prosthetic?
It would be the right one.
Okay, so you have your right leg.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, easy, Tony.
This is like 3/4 of my stand-up act.
So, honestly, my inclination was to think, how does Tony drive? Like, how do you? And this is not even a bit. But my question, like,
I drove the whole. 10 hours there, 10 hours back.
So
I drove the whole thing.
Do you just put that aside and use your left leg for both normally? Or do you
Yeah,
just-
and
you
I
just
close
jam
my
it?
eyes and I just.
Or do you just? I was thinking like maybe he just jams it into the gas pedal and then just hits the brake. So you're like, all away. Like, what is the?
Oh, you're so stupid.
Explain the dynamic. I want.
There's
Everybody's
actually-
trying to be nice to him. No, you're great. You're great, Tony.
It's like,
No, don't worry about it. We understand.
Regular Mario Andretti over here.
yeah.
There's actually 2 ways of doing it. There's hand. You can do it all by hand. They attach it to the steering wheel. I don't do that.
Okay.
I have left foot pedals.
Okay. So it's a real question I was
cool.
asking.
Yes.
It's not anything.
They hook up a contraption so it's on the other side.
By the
What are you
way, I
doing?
just
What are
want to
you
say
doing?
this. This is how boring my life is that they went to Tony's leg. Our special guest, Eric Cap. But let's talk about Tony's leg.
Yeah.
We got our meat now. Back to Tony.
I'm even trying to help you. I even, like I said, I queued up a scene from your movie, and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm even bored by
Enough
it.
about the fairy meat boy. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about Tony's peg leg. Okay. So you jam the fucking prosthetic into the gas pedal.
The gas pedal. Hope for the best.
You tie a brick to it, like when you're driving off the cliff.
No, I'm thinking, like, my father, in Valley Stream, we used to have, he'd say, put the stick in the door. And the stick, you couldn't break into my house because the stick would jam in. And I'm thinking, like, Tony's just wedging the prosthetic leg into the gas pedal and then using just the brake. That's not what happens.
That's exactly it. You just summed it all up right there. That's it.
But you have a new vehicle, or you interchange vehicles sometimes, don't you?
No, well, I think my car was just in the shop that one night.
So what'd you do?
Well, that night I was just kind of reaching over with my left leg.
Oh my God in heaven. That's not, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is not safe. He's whipping, he's dragging his leg across, though.
I did totally fine.
Did you guys see Tony cross 6 lanes on Long Island Expressway the other day? Yeah, he was just moving his leg.
Tony. That's just crazy Tony.
Silly Tony. Silly, crazy, lane crossing
Just
Tony.
let him do his thing.
All right, so that's a legitimate question I asked, and you gave me a legitimate answer. Okay?
Sure, yeah.
Mark, remember Eric?
Oh, she's still here? I didn't even realize. Go ahead, Korean boy. Go ahead, ask him a question.
Korean boy.
Go ahead.
Well, I did want to ask you about Comic Sans, and
Okay.
Tony does have a clip he has queued up.
Tony
Tony
rocked that thing, by the way.
So I've heard nothing.
Everybody did. Everybody.
Exactly.
Thank
And I've
you.
heard nothing.
I heard you
great
guys
things
killed it. I heard everyone
about
who was
your
in it was-
performance.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to make it. I had a show that night when they did the premiere at the
course you
Belmont
did.
Theater.
Yeah.
You were at the show that I was. You knew I was at a show. You were on the same show, but you got to leave early. I had to stay
I'm
there
joking.
with Richie Byrne because he was hungry.
It was great. That was a really good experience. And
Yeah.
these guys were like total pros.
And I've heard nothing but great things about the film. So if you want to, I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
play it now.
So
Do you
Is that
want to
right?
do like what they do on talk shows? Like you'll
Yeah,
give a
what
little
scene is
scene,
this?
information on the scene.
You know what? I think it's. I'm not positive. I think it's when you Don. I don't want to give too much away, but Eric's character and Don's character.
Butt heads a little bit.
Butt heads a little bit. Thank you.
Okay.
I believe.
I'm like a guy who, a Kevin James type character. I made it big. I made it big. He didn't.
He's over there. Like, we can see you on fucking camera, okay, idiot? We can see you eating that. So stop it. Eric, move it to your side, please.
finally gets a chance to speak, and they just fight about food.
I'm
while you're
seeing him
speaking.
putting in little hunks of meat in his mouth while we're interviewing the guy. Like a little fucking squirrel. Fucking Christ. Okay.
Yes. So Don and I, at the end of the movie, sort of it all comes to a head. You know,
Okay.
he's pissed at me because I made it big and never helped him out in his career.
Okay.
And he confronts me.
Were you a big player? I mean, I'm not joking. Were you a big player in the movie? Were you at a
Yeah,
big
I'm the
part?
main
Yeah,
character.
Oh.
he's pivotal
okay.
pivotal
Well,
character.
well, Don Sill. I mean, I'm like
You,
the
Don
main-
Sill?
Yeah, Don
Okay.
Sill. Yeah.
I
Okay.
really hope that's the scene, the clip that's here. I'm not even
No,
sure.
I'm sure it'll be great.
Absolutely.
This is Bosie's scene. Like,
Well, it says half in the file. All right, here we go.
Okay.
I remember the first time you took that stage back in the day on that open mic night. You remember that day? Huh? Who's the one that helped you? Who's the one that helped you work on your material, work on your set, give you the confidence to go back up the next day because you're so scared? Remember that?
You think I owe you for that?
Yeah.
For helping me 20 years ago?
Yes. I think you do.
For giving me 5-minute sets on a Wednesday night.
Look, it's those 5-minute sets that all added up. It's those 5-minute sets that help build your voice, build your style, build your career. It's those 5-minute sets that made you Big Mac.
Hey man, I would have been Big Mac regardless. Regardless of those 5-minute sets, which, by the way, there was no audience. It was all comics. We were performing for each other on your Wednesday night future fucking stars? Come on. I would have made it either way, Billy, because I worked hard. I networked hard. And because I was funny. Did you help me? Yes. but I don't know you.
I remember.
You can't do this to
Me and Hirschman had that same conversation last week.
Right.
You just can't do this to me. This is so
You
painful.
you invited me to do this podcast with you, and all you do is make fun of me the whole time.
Great work.
Dude, that was awesome. I didn't. So it's a dramedy. Like there's comma and drama.
Yeah, there's
There's comma and drama. There's comma
drama.
Are there exclamation points? Are there question marks? I need to know. What kind of punctuation is on this thing?
We got dramedies.
And it's the font is Comic Sans, and the punctuation.
Did you correct my pronunciation? Yeah, fuck yeah, I did. But you needed it.
Fix your grammar.
I fixed your grammar when you didn't know how to speak. That's what I did, Billy.
Oh my!
But like I said before, is there anything this fucking guy's not good at? It's
Thank you.
That was really, really
good.
terrific. That was really really great.
I have to say, I mean, we did it they did this thing in like shot the whole thing, I think, in like 2 days.
Yeah, wow.
And then, just Don Sills, man. Great director, really good actor.
Yeah.
And he sat there like doing it all. He would act in a scene, then he would direct.
Was the whole thing
kisser.
shot here in Governors?
Yep.
There was one. Joey Cola's scene was shot at Andy Plajanos' office, where the business he owns.
Okay.
But that was it. Everything else was here.
Wow.
Nice, wow.
It really came off well, and we did it at the. I think they did a filming, the showing of it, whatever the hell they call it. The premiere was at the Belmore Theater.
Yes.
So are there more steps where he can send it to other festivals?
Yeah,
Like,
he's sending it to other festivals. That's what he's doing with it right now. That's why it's not really accessible to see because if you make it accessible to see, then you're not allowed to submit it to festivals. So he's doing the festival circuit. He submitted it to the Hamptons one that plays every year. So he's hoping we're hoping that it gets in there. But so it won Best Script at the Tokyo Short Film Festival.
Wow. Tokyo.
Yeah, and that's actually what I was
talking about it at the Hot Pot.
So he's just throwing it out there. In fact, there was a guy at this thing at North Carolina that came up to us after. He said that he was excited to see it because he has performed here. Some guy, Wade something.
Wow.
Wade Wicks, I think was his name.
Wicks.
Was Don available to come on
Wasn't
tonight?
he on Wade Wicks? Wasn't he on that show with Monty with us?
Oh, he was. That's right. The guy from Virginia, Maryland. Yeah.
Wade Wicks.
Irwin Wicks. It was. You're right. Wow. In closing, Eric Haft. We always ask this question. No, we don't. But it just sounds dramatic. What are you've done a lot. The truth is you produce shows, you act, you make meat, you do stand-up comedy, and you're good at all of it. What kind of goals do you have from a comedy standpoint? Because the truth is, all kidding aside, from where you started to where you're now, you're headlining shows. You've performed in front of some really big rooms.
I've opened up for Rob Schneider.
You have opened up for some really good
you
people, yeah. So,
and I'll tell you one thing. There's a lot of headliners that have been around a long time, and they're even saying like, "We'll be in the green room." I don't want to follow Haft. Like, we've gotten so strong.
But look, we joke around, and I honestly, somebody's dying. It's over.
It's over. Now that it's
but
over,
honestly, I when I got to comedy, I had way too much respect for comedians.
Yeah.
So I've never ever considered myself. Look, it's cool that that I'm people headline me. That's really great. My true goal, honestly, is just to keep going, and I think I just got to get my social media shit together and start doing. I got to show some balls and do some stupid stuff. I hate to say it, but probably put some stuff out on TikTok and
do it.
Do
the food stuff.
Yeah, maybe the food,
do
and
the
because we all know that if you put asses in seats, that's all that really matters.
Are there any rooms that you want to work that you haven't? Are there any people you want to work with or open? You have any?
I got to get into New York City. I got to have I've always had this hang up. and it's just in my own head because when I first started, I used to do bringer shows for guys in the city.
Yeah.
And I didn't know they were bringer shows, but I was doing them thinking this is, oh my God, I made it.
Yeah.
And I sucked and I ate it. And now that I'm a little better, I got to just have the guts to get in there and just do some of those.
I don't think it's a matter of guts. I think it's a matter of you kind of itemizing your time. So I mean, obviously, it's a big commitment for someone who lives on Long Island and has a day life and kids and so forth. Do you see yourself being able to afford yourself the time to go into the city a couple nights a week?
Couple of nights might be tough. I'd be happy with one to start.
Probably now. I guess the kids are mostly out of the house.
My kids are older, so it's not really about the kids. It's just about me having the balls. It's really I feel like that's my weakness. Is just like
that's
some guys just have the balls to just like to
Eric Half just has weak balls.
Weak balls.
I have no balls. I'm ballless. So
it's hard to get into the city to do comma. It's just hard.
Right. Are there comma clubs that you want to work in the?
I know, but I think I'll get there. I am one of those guys that's I never give up. I just and I have endless energy. I get up at 5:30 every morning.
Yep.
And I go. I did 3 shows this weekend, and I got barely any sleep. One was in New Jersey, and I don't know what I have so much passion.
Terrible cocaine addiction.
Horrible.
Yeah. No, Adderall is wonderful and good for you.
It works. So,
We listen. We're so happy to have you on. I'm sorry it took you so long, but Mike kept on saying no, and I'm like, no, we have to. He's gonna bring meat. He's gonna bring meat. So we appreciate that you came on tonight. We love you.
We love you, brother.
We'll close the show by saying, what do you have coming up? Anything you want to plug this weekend?
You guys plug.
Well, also, where can we buy your meat? You should market your meat, but this weekend I'll be Friday night at Moriarty's in Yonkers on McLean Avenue.
Yep.
And Saturday night I'll be right here in the Giggle Room with Vincent James and Joe Pontillo and Teresa De Catano. It's all in like an Italian show.
Okay.
But where are we going to see you, Eric? Where?
I'm here. I'm at Governor's Thursday night.
Awesome.
Actually, I got a kind of a weekend. Intentionally, because I've been out of my house too much, so I kind of just have to lay low. Yeah. But Monday night I'm doing something for Mandy Jones on a Monday night show. I don't know what it is in Hempstead, West Hempstead.
I'm sure it'll be as usual.
You can tell I don't even know where I'm going to be. It's
average.
Sad.
Well, most importantly, Thursday night, come see Eric here at
I will be
Governor's
the
Comedy.
great Eric Haft, Eric Marie Haft. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You were a great guy.
Now go eat some meat, everybody.
We're going to eat some meat. Tony, anything you want to plug, or we're good closing up?
May 10th, Knock 'em Dead Comedy at that meatball place in Patchogue.
Yes, let's do that.
Nice.
Those shows kill it.
Yeah, we had a great time last time we were there.
Awesome.
Meatballs and murder.
That's
Way
it.
to go. You guys, thank you for listening. Hope you laugh with us. Keep on sharing the show. We're going to make it one day. We really are with your help.
Smash that subscribe button.
We got it. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
You.
Love you. Thanks, Eric.
Bye.